All right, for those of you out there that are looking to turn better through the golf ball, this might be your training aid right here. So let's talk about the Orange Whip Turn Trainer, and is this something that could be good for you? What's going on, everybody? Scott Hogan coming at you. We are here. We are going to be talking about this Turn Trainer. Again, if you want to learn more about training aids or also more about how to play better golf, make sure you click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already. And we're going to go through this aid that I actually got. It came across and something that was announced by Orange Whip. I'm a huge fan of them. I have a lot of their other products. And so I said, you know what? I want to get this. This is something that could really help maybe my students, and you know what, maybe it's something that helps me. I don't know. So we went ahead and purchased this. Right now they do have a special. At the time of this video, they are having a kind of introductory discount on it, plus we do have a code to get you more of a discount. So if you're interested, I'll link all that below. But let's talk about what is this Orange Whip Turn Trainer. Okay, so first off, this is part of the kind of new GFX line that Orange Whip has been doing. So they've been kind of going down this golf fitness path the last few years. They have their Orange Peel. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's like a little device that you stand on and it kind of kicks you in. I actually kind of like that device a little bit. But they also have, like their Light Speed Trainer. And then with that Orange Peel, they've had in the past where you can actually add on some bands and do some workouts and stuff with it. But now they have this Turn Trainer, which is more of a, I guess a mobile version of what you have going on. And what it is, let me peel apart some of these straps here. You actually get these foot straps. And so you get devices that are going to be hooked onto your feet, and then you can hook these bands on and then connect them to a belt that you wear like this. And then what you have is actually how you're going to have your feet connected to your hips, essentially. And so that's a really good idea from a golf swing standpoint, because I think a lot of people want to get more hip turn. They want to get more rotation through the swing. And so what I like off the bat with this device is it is connecting the dots for people. What people don't realize is if you want turn is driven by how much pressure and how you are using your feet to drive energy up, which then creates torque and then creates rotation of the hips. I know that's a long-winded answer, maybe a little too technical for some, but this is essentially letting you do that. So what you do with this device, now there's a couple of things that you can do with it. They do send you some introductory workouts. Now they do have a program that they are trying to get you into and get you signed up for. It's something I'm considering. One of my big goals for the off season is the fitness side of things. So I'll take a look at it. I do the stack, and I do some other workout stuff. So I'm not sure if I'll join in on that, but I did use this. I got a few practice sessions in using it where I was working on my swing. And so there's a couple ways, again, that you can hook this up. You strap it in, you get your feet in, you get the bands in. I will be honest, for me, now I'm not in great shape. It's even a workout just to get the thing on. For me, I actually had help from my cameraman when I was doing it the second time, because these things are pretty stiff when they come through. Now, I did get like the you can get different variations of stiff. This, I believe, is just the regular stiff flex, and they're pretty intense. So maybe you want to go a little lower, or you know what, I don't mind that, because I'm hoping I work into it a little bit more. So I'd rather get, a little bit more work or a little bit tighter band, and then I get stronger and work into it. But you hook them up, and what ends up happening is you get kind of in this, where your hips and your feet are connected. So the idea is when you swing, you're going to start feeling how you shift your weight and how your body starts to turn. Now, a couple of things when I'm looking at training aids. I've talked about this before on the channel. When I'm looking at a training aid, a couple of things I want to know is, one, does it work? Does it achieve the desired result? Now, that would mean when we're talking about hip turn in a swing, the biggest challenge that people have is either one, they don't move their hips at all. They just keep them super still. And two, instead of turning them, they sway. So their body kind of gets off angle and does some tilting and stuff. And so we don't want either of those things. We want to have some proper rotation of the hips. And this does help you do that. Now, is it possible for you to not do it correctly? It is, okay? I think it's possible, but I do think it makes it more difficult to do it incorrectly. I think you'll feel it, so that's good. But I would still be watching my swing on video and making sure, maybe even get some advice from a coach to make sure I'm properly doing the exercise so I'm not ingraining any type of bad habit. What I find when I'm doing the work with this band is once you start moving your hips a certain direction, what you actually feel is it's kind of tight when you start, and then when I turn, you actually feel the band lose some of its tension. So it almost kind of pulls you where you want to go. So that's nice. I kind of like when training aids make you do the work more, but I'll talk about that in a second because you can actually change this to make that happen. But it does show you how you need to move. It also shows you the relationship of when you go to turn through, how your footwork needs to work, how you don't want to fire your feet and do all that type of stuff, things that lead to early extension. Those are going to be things that kind of go into what you're working on here. So I think that's really, really good. The one thing I would say, though, is when you're doing it, is it going to automatically make you a better hitter of the ball? Not necessarily, because this is working on how the body is working, okay? So I think depending on who you are, if you don't understand how the club is supposed to move, you're still going to need help with that. So like, for example, I combined this when I was hitting balls. I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw my favorite training aid on, which is Gravity Fit, and I'm going to use them both at the same time. 2 band workouts, doing one on the upper half, one on the lower half. Now, to be fair, I felt, and you know what? I looked like Tin Cup. All right, it looks ridiculous with this new one.
You look ridiculous.
Now we're gonna get into Tin Cup status. It's way overkill. I kind of did it just to be funny more than anything, but I actually hit some good shots doing it. But, this might be a winter thing and really working on just kind of seeing how everything works. But it's that actually is something that I think people will find is if you just work on the hip turn, but you have no idea how to maneuver the club, you're still going to run into issues hitting the ball poorly, even though your hips are moving better. So you got to keep that in mind as you're going through, because again, a lot of people that come see me for lessons, they say, oh, I don't think I turned my hips. And it's like, not really. You actually have some other things you got to do before you ever worry about that part. So make sure you actually need hip turn, and working on that before you get to it. The one thing that I did when I was going through this is I actually took the bands. Now they give you a couple ways to work on things. They give you a couple pretty simple progressions to do. What I actually did was flip the bands around and put them on the front of the belt and kind of crossed them over the front. And what I found when I did that is this actually helped me personally. So I'm somebody that actually struggles where I tend to fire my body and my hips a little too soon and the club lags behind. So when I did this, what happened was it made my body have to kind of resist the bands a little bit. So I had to kind of keep everything under control and not fire everything too fast. So I found that to be a really good exercise for me. Again, I think if you're not sure what you should do, you would probably need to have a coach kind of guide you into what you need to do with this. But it actually turned out to be pretty nice. I think it's something that I could see myself doing. The one thing I did notice in doing it is just from a workout standpoint, you really will start to feel it. It's funny when you put them on, you can't really walk. The bands are on there and you can't really move too much. It's kind of funny. But I did feel my hips and everything getting tight, just trying to stabilize themselves from the pressure of the band. So I did like that. I think that's a good thing. If I keep practicing, I'm going to be working on some hip stuff and get my hips stronger. That's a good thing. I think a lot of people struggle with their hips based on how we sit all day and all that stuff. But that was really good. Now, one other thing that I really liked is there is a way that you can wear this band and actually put it around your shoulder. You take the belt for your waist and put it around your shoulder, and you can actually work on turning your chest. So you can actually do some upper body work with the band, and this was actually pretty interesting. It was very, very weird for me to do it. This is probably something I actually do need to work on, is kind of feeling how to get everything kind of synced up so my chest can keep turning through. It was actually really, really good, and again, it kind of gave me a good feel. It felt very exaggerated, which is what I like when I'm trying to learn something new. So that was really cool. I think it would be interesting to see some of the updated ways that they do things, but within the program and all that. But again, we got to see if I'm going to pay for that to go forward. Again, we'll kind of judge that as we get into the winter. But it's a really good tool. It's not overly expensive. I like that it has some fitness purposes to it. I do think it's a very specific problem that you're working on. Again, you can work on some of the upper body, but I think it's a common problem. You know, if you're somebody that struggles with rotation, you struggle with early extension, you struggle with, you know, your body gets closer to the ball. Those are things that you can work on definitely with this device. So it is working on just a few problems, but they're major problems. They're problems that everybody seems to have in their golf swing. So that's nice. Again, the one major drawback I have with it is if you don't understand how to control the club and you just work on these moves, you still might not hit the ball great. Now, granted, you will be moving better, so you got some good things going on. But again, if you're not sure how the club's working, you still might not hit great shots, and you might need help with that. So it's not going to be something that cures all and ends all, but that's usually the case with most training aids. You know, there's something that you have to be guided on to get you there. But again, I do like this one. I think it's going to work on problems that a lot of people have. And again, it's not overly expensive, coming in right at around $100. And if you get it on the sale, on their introductory sale, that's going to help you. Plus, you can add on the code we have, get a little bit more off of it. So really, really good stuff. I also think it would be good if you add in like a wedge or an Orange Whip trainer or a Lightspeed trainer. I think that would be a good thing as well for some winter programming. If you wanted to work on some speed, learn how to make your body move, and learn how to generate some speed in the club, that actually would be a great program to be doing in the off season. So that's something to check out. This is the Turn Trainer. So let me know your thoughts on it. I'd love to hear what you think about it. I know it looks a little weird. It was definitely a little weird. I did hit some good shots with it, and I definitely felt some different things. So we'll have to see if it's something I keep using, but I definitely think this is something I might add into my teaching kit for, again, when I run into some very specific problems that I need to correct. So we will be working with it. I'll let you know if there anything else comes up with it, any more drills or anything, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. And as always, click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already. We'll catch you in the next one.